What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bluegrass State of Mind, the show where three college roommates talk life, sports, and all the ridiculous things that happen in an apartment we like to refer to as Room 302. We're bringing you stories, hot takes, and the kind of late-night debates that probably should have stayed in the group chat.
So grab your headphones, sit back, and get ready for a wild ride through our past college life, sports, and everything in between. Let's get into it. This is Bluegrass State of Mind.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Bluegrass State of Mind. I, unfortunately, am aside three guests. Well, I guess that would be unfortunately. I'm privileged to be with three new guests, and hopefully everybody can actually hear and see Trey this time. We tried this last week with Trey. It was a no-go. I don't know, the ones who listen out there, you would hear us go ask a question to Trey, and it would just skip over him. Mason and Colton are out this week. They are on a business trip. Trey may have to talk a little bit about that for another time.
The Bee Gees, man. Disco fever. What a bunch of clowns.
Oh, man. They had a disco night tonight. For the ones who are listening, they had to dress up, and you'll just have to ask to see the picture if Trey doesn't post it before then.
I didn't have to post it. They posted themselves.
That is true. You didn't see Colton's, though. Colton's, I'd like to see his out there, too. I'm sure he'll get to the golf group chat or something.
Against the law to post that.
Well, we're all Kentucky tonight, fellas, and we got a good variety here. We got a cow lover once, a cow hater. I don't know. I mean, we just got a variety for tonight. Good thing we're not talking about the NBA or LeBron or Michael or MJ. Actually, we go a little 2v2 right here if we needed to, Trey. But we'll save that for another night. All right, well, let's get right into it then. So this past Wednesday, Kentucky Wildcats came to Nashville to play the Vanderbilt Commodores. Coming into this game, Kentucky was on a 5-game winning streak and half a game out of first place. Well, they go into Nashville and they not only get beat, but they get beaten to death of a score of 80-55, getting beat by 25 points. There's a lot of ways, a lot of things we can talk about. I'm going to start off, before we get into the stats, I want to throw out some very interesting facts for you all, and I want you all to just kind of unpack it, and then we can get into some stats. But here we go. So, we only had 2 players make more than 2 field goals this game. We were 7 for 19 on layups, and OA is now on the season 56.6% on layups for this season. 20-point losses by Kentucky since 1985. I want to give you all this. Since 1985, this is teams for Kentucky to get beat by 20. Coach Cal had 5 of those in 15 seasons. Eddie Sutton had 5 of those in 4 seasons. Rick Pitino had 4 in 8 seasons. Tubby Smith had 0 in 10 seasons. Billy Gillespie had 1 in 2 seasons. Mark Pope currently has 4 in his 1 year and a half. The past 3 games that we've played in Nashville, we have lost by 25 to Vanderbilt, 35 to Gonzaga, and last year 29 to Alabama in the SEC tournament. We've played 8 games on the road or on a neutral site, and we have been down by double digits in every single game. We have been down by 17 in 7 of the 8 of those games. We only have led at halftime just 2 out of the 14 games this year against high major teams. And in games against Power 4 teams in the Mark Pope era, we have trailed by at least 15 points at halftime, which is equivalent to 22.5% of those games, which is 9 out of 40 games. Dad, what are you thinking right now on the state of Kentucky basketball?
It's a weird state. I don't want to be negative because I feel like that's part of the problem. And Pope is not doing his job right now. I hate to put it all on him, but we did this before, and I promised that I would not back off. Everyone wanted to put it on Cal. So, I mean, if you're the head coach, you got to put it on him. I do think as a fan base, we should do better. I think it's a roller coaster, and I think players see that and hear that, and the pressure that we put on them as a fan base is not great. Granted, I know they get paid, but I was talking to somebody earlier, and I said, do you think Vandy's coach, I forget his name, could he come to Kentucky and bring that roster he has at Vandy and have the same success? He couldn't do that because those kids will lose a game, they get beat by 25, whatever they did a couple weeks or last week, and like they don't hear about it the whole week, but our players are going to hear about it until they win another game. And I don't like that. And it's the way it's always been, but it's like it's getting worse. I feel like we're in a spiral that could really get out of control and not be good for us going forward for 5 to 10 years.
So, Trey, I think that's a really good point that Chad brings up. Before I get into my question for you, I feel like, for me, coming in out of this game, I'm not as upset as I was with the Missouri game. I'm upset. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to play that down, but for some odd reason, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, if my expectations have been lowered, if I look at it, I'm saying, okay, we won 5 games in a row. None have been against great teams other than possibly Tennessee, who's currently in overtime against Georgia at Georgia. I just have a weird feeling of where I'm at as a Kentucky basketball fan because I wasn't just terribly upset. I was embarrassed, but I was like, okay, we're down Cam Williams, we're down Jane Quains, we're down Jalen Lowe. We've actually won 5 in a row. So it's just that's how I personally feel. But my question, Treg, is going back to what Chad had said about this weird state of the fan base and Vanderbilt. How do we fix that? I mean, obviously the answer is win games. But is there a solution to that? What is your viewpoint on that?
Well, first of all, we need to recognize the company, man. If anybody watching YouTube, the company man right here in Chad Rush, State Farm, insurance agent, go team. The easy answer is you have to win, but I mean, as a fan base, yeah, we want to rally around the team. But there's a big but. I mean, big booty Judy. All the criticism for me goes on Pope and the players. I mean, to me, the excuse for the players and the expectation level of Kentucky basketball goes out the window when you throw $22 million into the equation. I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel. These guys are getting paid now. Let's just call it what it is. They're professional. So it just goes out the window. $22 million. He put the roster together. He built it on depth. Okay. And I'm not giving him the out of Quaintance is out, Lowe is out, Cam Williams out. You built the roster based upon depth. Okay. We still got, you had 12 players. You brought in 11 players. That still leaves 8. Most good teams only play 7. So where are we at?
Right? Trey, talking about depth, what Treg's talking about here. When you look at this game and you look at the stat sheet, I'm just going to name the points. We had 2 guys who showed up, and I don't even know if they showed up. It was one of those games where they were getting buckets at the end of the game. They didn't try, so it is what Otega Owe had 20 points. Denzel Aberdeen had 15 points. Our next highest scorer was Jasper Johnson, who had 5 and had a late 3 and 2 free throws in the last 2 minutes. We had 2 guys, and then that scored in double figures, and the next one was 5 points. Even more than that, though, I think the biggest key of the game is points off turnovers. Or you could, or the bench. I mean, Vanderbilt had 22 bench points to our 10. They had 13 fast break points to our 12. But turnovers, they had 28 points off of turnovers to our 8. And it goes back to what we talked about last week, Trey. These turnovers are so unaggressive turnovers, silly turnovers. I mean, what are you saying? Is it something with it? Is it the system that they're in? Is it go back to just you got to play hard. You got to try. Like when you watch this game, or however much you even watched it, like what is your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, look at one of the turnovers we had where Moreno, nobody were around. Moreno tosses the ball into the Oweh basket. Oweh grabs the ball. Not only did he walk with the ball about 4 steps, he walks straight. That's not coaching. That's just you're not paying I don't even say not paying. I don't know what you're doing. Elementary school kids, like, what are you? And like last night, Oweh had 20 points on 19 shooting. So it's not like he brought it. He just shot 19 shots and scored. I mean, he made 7 of them. And half of them were layups. Take out Aberdeen. Oweh scored as many points as the rest of the team combined. Oweh had 20. Aberdeen had 15. The rest of the team had 20. All of them. So I don't know. I really don't know where to what to do here. You got to have somebody like Aberdeen and Oweh are going to get theirs the last 5, 6, 7, 8 games. But so like the games that we did good, Chandler making threes, Jasper playing well, but if nobody, I don't know what you can do.
Well, Chad, I mean, I guess the biggest thing for me is we go back to it, and it was funny maybe the first game. The second game was like, okay, this may be like, this is something like, okay, surely this is not like an actual like identity. This is not going to keep on happening. But here we are, and it just keeps happening. I don't understand how you have 3 or 4 days to prep for one team, and you consistently come out the first half and lay eggs over and over and over. Like, I just don't understand. Like, how are we not performing in the first half? Now, granted, we didn't perform in the second half either. But, I mean, it all starts the first 5 minutes, and it just seems like the first 5 minutes, I mean, you just watch – if you go back and you watch the game, I don't think we had a single open shot that was decent without being contested. Like you heard Jimmy Dykes say, he's like, look at how hard this Kentucky team always has to battle to have a good look. Like and then it's like other teams, they don't have to do that. It seems like, I don't know. I'm dumbfounded on how we cannot come out against a good team from the start. Is it just that we're not good? Like, what is it?
I disagree on last night. I thought we came out better. We just couldn't make a shot. I felt like the ball was moving. I felt like we were getting into the paint,
I don't think we
kicking
came out good at all.
But we couldn't. I mean, it was 9-4 at the 16-minute mark. You're in the game, but then Oweh and Aberdeen abandoned everything because Chandler wasn't making shots. Yelovich wasn't making shots. We missed 3 layups and 2 free throws. I mean, to start the game.
But you can't rely on only making shots to keep yourself in games. As weird as that sounds, like you have to find different ways to keep yourself in a game. Like sometimes you just ain't going to put the ball in the basket.
I just
the way
felt
you
like
think it.
I just felt like last night, Oweh and Aberdeen got selfish early, and it just snowballed. The ball was dead. The ball did not move, and that's where the turnovers come from. And they come at the top of the key, and when you turn it over there, it's a dunk on the other end. You can't get back. You shouldn't have 2 guys taking 35 shots.
You know, as much so as we have talked, though, Treg, about this team was built for defense and depth and athleticism. I mean, I thought our defense looked pitiful last night.
We're not very good at all of them, are we?
I agree.
But let me say this about the construction also, okay? To have a good football team, what do you have to have?
A good quarterback.
Okay. To have a good basketball team, what do you have to have?
Good point guard.
Okay. Our point guards last night, who I think all 4 of us would agree, Aberdeen and Johnson are our point guards right now, correct?
Yeah.
They had 2 assists. 2 assists.
Well, the game before that, Marino's been leading us in assists. He led us, I think it was either last game or the game before, with 6. But no, I get your point. Absolutely. Yeah. We don't have
it. We do not have it. We do not have anybody outside of Oway. And I thought Oway could beat people off the dribble, but I'm not even sure about that anymore. So, and you mentioned Jimmy Dykes. Did you see when he said Kentucky takes a lot of tough twos?
yeah,
Well,
that's what I did.
we can't shoot the three. We can't beat nobody off the dribble, and we do not. And Marino cannot make a post move without getting blocked. So we can't throw it down to a big on the block. So yeah, we're going to take tough twos, and that's just the way our offense has had to adapt, and it's just been a struggle. It's absolute struggle.
Well, so moving on a little bit from the game itself, I know we didn't. I threw a couple stats there. I just don't think there's a reason to give many stats other than what I gave with points. I mean, for the game, real quick, we shot 19 for 59, 19 for 59 on field goals at 32%. We were 6 for 24 on three at 25%. Our free throws were 11 for 19. I mean, it's just like Chad said. I agree to disagree. I don't think we started off. He said but we couldn't put it in the basket. Yes, I agree with that.
Well, what I was saying about that is, I feel like when Chandler doesn't make shots, whoever it is, it's open. That Oway and Aberdeen, it's not like they like panic and feel like they have to do everything, and the ball stops moving. When the ball stops moving, it is terrible. It's miserable to watch. It's terrible. Like they have got to trust other guys and trust they're going to get it back in a better spot. And we had how many possessions do we have to where it's either one of them dribble, pull up.
Yep.
I mean,
and the pull-ups are tough. Like we said,
tough.
It's not an easy. And again, for the ones who are listening, obviously, like I don't, I love, Chad, that you started out with the show stating that like it's the fan base a little, like we've got to find a way to be better. I think that there's a fine line though of being better and holding still the expectations, because obviously I don't want us to get on here, and I'm on here all the time, and us get on here dog Kentucky. Like that's not it. I mean, I bleed blue. Everybody else who's on here does. But at the same time, this is happening and unfolding right in front of us. We're just talking about it. And I mean, we have expectations. So moving forward, though, Trey, this is what I think gets really interesting. And again, I don't like looking in the future too much, but at this point, I think it's starting to hurt us a little bit. So the question is, where do we go from here as far as next year? Because of to date, right now, Kentucky still has 0 recruits coming in for next year. And the bigger question, I think, right now is turning to current play right now, is the way that we're playing, the way that Kentucky basketball is looked at nationally right now, is that affecting the possible recruits that we could be getting? Do you think it truly, do you think that that's affecting next year's recruits? Or is it just, it's just something else? I mean, money won't, nothing that money can't take care of.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of different ways you could do that. I mean, I thought about he's done better lately, but at the beginning of the year and look, nobody played more than 25 minutes. So if you're trying to go get this dog you want him to have the ball all the time, what are you gonna do? Go into his house and say, hey, you can come here and play 20 minutes, or where Louisville's offering him the same amount of money, he can play 38 minutes, or North Carolina or whoever. Or you could look at it as Pope's supposed to be this not now. So what are we going to get? You don't know. If you're a big time recruit, if you're looking at this team, you're like, I don't want to play in that offense. Have you watched it? You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many, and the money thing, there's so many different what you could go with it, but money talks.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, everybody's offering money for the big dogs.
Go ahead, Trey.
There's a former Kentucky coach that mentioned something about having too many players, and it affected his recruiting the next year. I don't remember his name. But he had jet black hair, man. That just slicked it back.
I think he's a little bit.
But he mentioned. I mean, I'm just saying, like he mentioned that 14-15 team, it actually hurt his recruiting because of the minutes played. It really does. So And there's something to it, I would say.
So what about the money thing, Trey? Where do you stand at with that? As
Hey,
far as
man,
this
well,
year's team, is
I
it affecting next year's recruits? When a future 4-star, 5-star, I don't even know if we can get that star recruit at Kentucky right now. But if they're turning on the TV and they're reading this stuff on X and Facebook and hearing it from left and right, like, is that affecting? Like, do you think it is, or again, do you think money talks right now?
I mean, I would say money talks. I personally don't think it affects them. I think they like it. Positive or negative attention's attention, you know. So, well, I'll be honest with you. What worries me is, and I hope these guys do well. I really do. It sounds like I'm just piling in on Pope. And I'll be the first to say I thought it was time for Cal to go, and I'm excited for Pope. I want him to do well. Shoot, I'm a Kentucky fan more than I don't even cheer any professional teams. So, but the 22 million, we got a lot of these guys coming back. They're supposed to be coming back. So there's limited roster spots in terms of if they all come back. So yeah, it does worry me a little bit, but $22 million, I guess what worries me more than anything with Pope and his staff is their evaluations of what they're paying these guys, because they have obviously overpaid, or they just ain't got it. One or the other, the staff it is. So, but with $22 million, I've said it until I'm blue in the face. You got $22 million. There's no reason you shouldn't have 3 Walter Claytons. There's no reason.
Chad, on talking about with guys
it's
coming
the truth.
back.
You know it's the truth.
Me or Chad?
You want to bypass it. You know I'm right.
No. I'm just trying to keep the conversation going right now. We'll bounce back to it. But talking about the guys though that are coming back, Chad, who is going to come back? I mean, like that. I think that's a great question to consider right here, right now. Whenever you hear the names, Jasper Johnson. Okay. What about his minutes? Has he got the opportunity? Well, let me throw some more at you. So I want you to go through who you think. Okay. Colin Chandler. Maybe he's not actually taking that second year leap like a lot of people thought. Is it time for him to depart ways with the BYU and Kentucky Mark Pope? Okay. Well, we're not even talking about Mo Diabate, who was supposed to come in and be this fit guy and be able to gel with this team and be the so-called leader. Jalen Lowe coming off an injury shoulder injury. I think there's a lot of pieces here that, yes, we're supposed to be here 2 years. Cam Williams, is he going to come back and be the Cam Williams that he was kind of getting to? I mean, where do you see this team for next year?
Jasper, I don't see him coming back. I do think Cam Williams will be back. I feel like he was trending to be a good player, and he seemed like if anybody was having fun, he was one of the ones having fun. I feel like Malachi's gotten a lot better since the beginning of the season. So, I think he could be really good. I don't see a reason why Lowe wouldn't be back. Chandler seems to me like a Wagner is to Cal kind of guy. Like, he's just not going to leave Pope. I mean, Yelovich seems miserable. Mo seems. I don't see Mo being there without like Otega, and like they mesh, but I don't see him meshing with the other guys. My personal opinion is Pope listened to too much outside noise, and last year's team was a team that he could coach, and that's the kind of players he needs. I feel like last year's team was a Final Four team if they don't get hurt. And I don't think he listened to, we need defense, we need to get more athletic, and he doesn't know, he just doesn't know how to coach that.
But for a guy to be so smart and X's and O's, how does that happen? How does the outside noise get to you that soon and that fast?
That's back to my original comment.
Is he that good? Because we can't defend a high ball screen. We ain't done.
That's the $1 million question. I don't want to turn on him, but is he that? Is he that good? Like, is he? Why do we think that? Because Pitino told us that?
That's a good question. I was just saying on that. That's what his reputation has been, is X's and O's. Cal couldn't do the X's and O's. He could only recruit.
But
that's why we're going to get another guy like that. That's kind of his rep. That's what I was
But I just
getting
think
to.
he needs. I think his offense is complex, and there's requires so many reads off those horns or those screens, whatever the handoffs, and that you've got to have old, mature players with one stud to do it. Like, look at his good teams. They have one really good player when they've been, and they still lost. I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't think that the young guys. That's why granted, I think Chandler's got a little better. Other way I can't say, but his big thing was guys flourish in his system the second year. He kept saying
Yeah.
that over and over and over. And I do not want to be negative because I want him to do great, and I hope he does great. But I do not see this beautiful flower that's supposed to be in the second year.
Beautiful.
You
Trey,
hit it before I could, Chad.
Trey, you've been to how many games you been to, Trey?
I've been to 3: North Carolina, St. John, Gonzaga.
Okay, so you've been to 2 of the absolute worst games that you could have went to this year out of the 4. But I've went to one this year. To me, this talking about this way that Popes runs his offense, this horns looks where he throws it to the big man. It's a little bit different. It's kind of unique because last year Amari Williams, it was more like center court, he would do it more at the top of the key, right in the center. Now it's more so in the corner with Malachi Marino, Brandon Garrison. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's good to run here and there, but at the end of the day, it's ran so much. I think scouting wise, yes, your players can get mixed up here and there, but I think it's an easy guard. I do. Y'all may totally disagree. I think when you scout Kentucky, you look, okay, you know what's coming. It's a easy of a switch of a screen as long as you have communication. I think it's something we need to mix up. But the thing about it is, do we have the players to even mix it up right now? I mean,
think,
what are y'all's thoughts on this offense?
I think we're last year especially. I think we severely hated how we acted like that team was fun, and it was like Amari just had 25 and played. I don't know, 25 minutes.
He had a good game.
Lamont was really good. Jackson Robinson was really good. Tubby Brea didn't miss. Like, we talked about how pulled the team together in a couple weeks, which was very impressive. I agree, but we don't have Amari Williams. We don't have Toby Brea, and I know we don't have Jalen Lowe. We don't have Quaintance. Now we don't have Cam Williams. But even if we had those, we don't have those guys. Those guys were perfect for Hope's system. And Hope went out, got a bunch of guys who he thought could defend to compete in the SEC. He didn't get those guys, and well, apparently we can't play defense either. But I just think, like Chad said it perfect earlier, I think Hope have a certain formula for his style of play, and I don't have it.
Trey, I think, Trey, do you know who has the toughest remaining schedule in college basketball? Or I know for sure in the SEC.
Yeah, Kentucky.
Yeah. So let's take a look at that. So for the next 10 games, we play this Saturday at Arkansas. Then our next game is Oklahoma at home, then followed by Tennessee at home. Then we go to Florida. Then we have Georgia at home. Then we go to at Auburn, at South Carolina. Then we have Vandy come visit us. Then we go to at Texas A&M, and then we finish with Florida at home. Realistically, looking at, we have 10 games left. We are currently sitting at what are we? 14 and
14-7, 5-3.
We're 14-7, 5-3.
Yeah.
I said if there is any way we can find a way to go 5-5, that would put us at 19-12 going into the SEC tournament, 10-8 in conference. I think it's doable, reasonable, but I don't know. What do you think about this upcoming slate of games that we have coming up? I mean, it's a tough little stretch here we have.
You talking to me or?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Trig.
All right, man. So I just broke it down in the first 5. So you said at Arkansas, home Oklahoma, home Tennessee, at Florida, at Georgia. I mean, you really could be staring 1-4 right in the teeth.
Yep.
And, Oklahoma's not very good, but they did take Cal down to the wire last night, I believe it was. So,
Yep, they did.
yeah. If we go 1-4, we ain't making the tournament. That's about
That's where I counted on us beating Oklahoma and possibly getting Tennessee again at home, and then being able to get Georgia.
Arkansas
And
and
then we're
Florida are
gonna
going to be two. I mean, they're going to be obviously the two toughest ones. But,
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I think you
But
got to
hey,
take
you
care of
never know.
home, and if you can get Georgia, I mean, if you can go 3-2 out of those 5, I mean, you still may have a fighting chance.
Is it Georgia? Georgia's on the road or at home?
At Georgia.
It's at home.
No, it's at Georgia.
It's at home, right?
I thought
Oh, is it
Georgia.
at Georgia?
I thought it was at Georgia.
Anyway,
Where'd you think it was, Trey?
I thought it was.
Oh. I might have wrote it down wrong.
Well, I'll be looking it up. Chad, anyways, while I look it up, is there a way? Do we make the tournament? Let's just get to that. Do we make the tournament?
We make the tournament.
You seem very confident about that, like no question.
I just think we're gonna. I mean, every time we think this team's done, they bounce back and win a home. Like they'll win. They're gonna win most of the home games.
It's at home.
Yeah, it's at home.
So you get Oklahoma at home, Tennessee at home, Georgia will be the hardest. Georgia at home. You beat South Carolina. Like, is Texas A&M that good? Like, is Texas A&M us?
is.
I mean, we were 5-2, and we think we're terrible. They were 6, and I mean, or they get the benefit of the doubt on the easy part of the schedule early. Like, are they really that good? You know what I'm saying? So, I think we.
I
think
thought the same thing about Vanderbilt. I ain't gonna lie. I thought the same thing about Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's just one of those teams when they get rolling. They're just, what's his name? 99.
They're not 25 points better than us, though. No.
We played horrible, but still, they're one of those teams. When they get rolling, they're a tough out.
Well,
they're also
really, really
16 points a game sitting on the bench too.
That's true.
That is true.
But I mean, Carroll made 3 threes in a row and had made 5 the whole conference play. So
Trey, and I want all of you all to answer this, because coming into tonight, again, like I stated, I'm actually a lot calmer than I was against the Missouri game. Like, I don't know. And again, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I'll let you all tell me that if you want. But I'm not super, upset about Pope. I just feel like he's not coached a very good, or not had a very good coaching year, but I'm trying to consider, okay, he's had 3 guys go down, but that doesn't, and then also I'm over here thinking, okay, well, he still is the one who constructed this roster. So my question for you all is, for the ones who may watch this or hear other sports networks or podcasts who are talking about Pope, and not downing him purposefully, but deservingly. I mean, it is what it is. For the fans, or for the individuals who are saying, well, why do you always talk, give him time, this is only, what's the message to those fans? That's my question. Any of you all?
You cannot come into every game be down 10 in the first half. Every single. That is for you to come back. All these comebacks you've had in the second half, obviously they're talented enough. They're good. They can play. For you to come out every single, it's like our team is seeing the other team the first time. Like film, it's like they don't even ever see any film until halftime of the game. And then they're like, oh, well, now here's what they do. That's on code. That's on code. That's on both.
Well, preparation, yeah. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, that's what I talked a little bit about. But I feel like there's a lot more to it too than just the preparation, though. I mean, is that warranted, Chad? I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. I mean, again, for the ones who don't know, I mean, you was really tough on Cal. Is that something that you see yourself getting more on? I mean, like you said, you're going to keep it the same old like it was with Cal with Pope. But time is of the essence right now, it seems
Right.
like. So, like, what's your point of view on that?
It won't change, but for me, it's more how we finish the season. So, like, I'm not going to make huge statements or drastic comments, and I don't like firing him every other game. Or we need a new coach here. We've won 5 in a row here. Like, let's see how it finishes. I mean, because Cal was in this situation multiple times with teams, and they made runs for him, and we got off his back. But then he also went 5 years without doing anything in the tournament. So, like, if it's results driven at the end. Yes, we want to make it pretty all the way through, but does it have? I mean, if it's not, it's not. If this team makes a run of the Elite Eight, we have a good time in the tournament. We all get together and have fun and watch Kentucky games, which is what we want to do in the end, right? That's why we care so much, because it's fun for us to watch them. Right now, it's not fun to watch them, so we get so frustrated.
But Treg, is a Sweet 16 or Elite 8 enough?
Oh yeah. Well, this thing, you tell me Sweet 16 right now, man, I'd be dancing in the ice-filled roads up there.
You be discoing with Colton and Mason. You be putting on a wig.
No, I wouldn't put that junk on, but hey, I'd be dancing.
I think most people would have said, or did say, when we hired Pope, that it was Final Four bust in 5 years. That's when you call it a failure. But I mean, if you go back over what Cal was there, how many years?
15.
15 years.
15, and he had 4 Final Fours, right? 3 Final Fours.
I would have
somewhere in there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you spread that over 15 years,
4 or 5.
but they were all his were so close together, but he had none in the last 10. So, like, it's fair to get one every 5 years. Like, if you're being realistic. Now, there are people that aren't realistic.
You can get behind a guy like that when he does it in the first little bit, and that's what springboard.
Exactly.
But
100%.
And I'm piling in on Pope, but I do think he deserves another year for sure. I'm not one of those that's saying fire him. I'm just saying to those critics of Cal, how can you
got to be fair?
How can you be critical of that man and not be critical of Pope? Just because you say he's X's and O's. Well, X's and O's scored him 55 points last night. Like, so that's all I'm saying. So, I'm taking it from that standpoint. I'm all about Pope, wanting to give him another year, but, like, come on.
And back to the original question, like, to the people that get frustrated because you criticize Pope, it's like, we live in Kentucky. We have Kentucky basketball to talk about this time of year. There's nothing else to talk about. So that's what we're going to talk about, right? I mean,
like
they lose.
Pope didn't know. He knew.
I mean, he knows. That's what I do appreciate. He knows it.
So it's not like he didn't expect some backlash when he didn't perform, because he knew he would. He said that at the beginning. So yeah, I mean, we're like we are calling on him, but I mean, when he deserves it, just like Cal deserves it at times. A lot of times.
I want to add something to that too, or to what Dylan said at the very beginning of this part. Is you don't know what to feel, right? You didn't feel anything. You're coming out of it. See, to me, that's the problem. Like, if I turned it off, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like 2 minutes into the second half, I was done. And to me, that's the problem. Like, there's nothing right now to get me excited about the team. And I hate to feel that way, because I'm a coach in my own right. You know what I mean? But I want it's for enjoyment for us, right? So this is like almost a hobby. So I don't know. It's just a bad time right now. Hope it gets better.
No, I mean, I mean, it is. I mean, I agree 100%. It is a bad time. I think the thing about it though is it's the way that the way that we're losing.
My
I think,
electricity's
like you
out.
said,
I ain't got no water. I'm working. I'm watching Kentucky basketball at my dad's house, man, and it's miserable. I got that one out.
But it goes back to the way we're losing these games. I mean, like when you watch and Trace, Trey, you talked about, you just see these little clips of guys and you're just thinking, what are we doing? And that's the way that I feel at times, like with these turnovers that we have. It goes back to, like, it's not aggressive turnovers, the way that we're playing. And I'll be honest with you, another thing that I still don't understand how in the world Mark Pope doesn't just light a fire on these guys. I've only seen it like once this year, and it was the Brandon Garrison where he like sluggishly went past half court after turning it over. And I mean, he got in him. And I'll just Pat Kelsey, as silly as that dude looks with his big old, and I'm not making fun of people with glasses, but he's got them big old glasses. He's like, I don't know, 5'3", it seems like. And like, just, I mean, he looks like he is about to go crazy on them players. And I love it. And then we have a guy who is 6'10", with the Army bald. I mean, like, okay, I'm not going to mess with this guy. And he just always has got that smooth, calm look on his face. And it drives me crazy. Like, get in him. Like, what are we doing? And I don't know if that just maybe, I don't know how we got here. I guess I got on a little tantrum. But
well, I just don't see what's wrong with being 5'3".
5'7". Jack wagons. To answer that question though, is I don't that don't bother me none, just because.
Oh, it bothers me like crazy.
He is who
Trey,
he is.
how in the world do you see
I don't want him to be somebody he's not. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I've played for. We've all played for different coaches that have different personalities.
I agree with what you're saying. Like, don't be someone you're not. But I just feel like these guys are not responding to whatever you're doing. So you need to try something new. Like, that's where I'm at.
Did you hear
That
what
goes
they
back
ran
to the
out to last?
construction.
Hey, Chad, you remember what we ran out to in 04? We can't say it on the podcast. You remember what
Yes.
we broke it down to? You know what them jokers
Yes.
broke it down to last night?
Somebody touch money.
1, 2, 3, touch money. That's your
What does
I
problem.
that
don't really know
mean?
what that means. I don't know what it means.
22 million, what it means to me. That's exactly what it means to me.
But that goes back to the roster
touching
construction.
George
He got
Washington.
guys that he can't coach. He got guys that don't respond to him. Like, part of your evaluation is like a demeanor of a player. And if they don't have, if you're a guy that has nothing but intensity and those kind of players, you get a guy that responds to that. These guys do not respond to his demeanor at all. It's clear.
But what do
that's
they
part of
respond
bringing
to?
them in.
What do you think would make this team respond? Anybody?
I mean, you got
Fine them.
you got to show some emotion. Some emotion.
That's what I'm saying.
But we're
like-
but
yeah, we say that, but
let's go.
Have y'all read the reports that Diabate is he's all over the players, and they're saying he's like a bad apple, you know. So
I've
you
heard
get that. You get that part of it too, you know. So
Yeah, you can see it. I'm yelling. I mean, he does it at the refs. He does it at the player. He's just like all the time.
But like he's the only one that has some. Like, maybe he just wants something out of everybody else.
I'll say he's the only one that looked like he tried it all last night.
Yeah.
From what I watched, from the parts that I did watch. Trey,
I want to ask this question.
Go
before
ahead.
You start. That I didn't get to watch the Gonzaga game because there was a ball game or something that night. Did Pope get a technical that game?
No, I don't think you got.
Not against Gonzaga.
Why would you not? 40-point blowout and you don't get a technical.
Oh, yeah, I don't understand that either. I mean,
This goes back to what I just said. Light a fire on them. What did we say? I mean, guys, that's what I just said.
I just trying to help you out, man.
In that game, it was. Oh my goodness, they were just getting drilled every possession, and Pope was just in there. I agree with Dylan on this one. Like the Gonzaga game, I would have come unglued if I was him.
Well, I think all four of us. You think about all four of our dads. All four of our dads are pretty driven, hard-nosed guys. So that's what we were coached. Like, that's what we are. you would think Pope is playing for Rick Pitino, but he's just not that guy.
Right.
I mean, he's just not that hard nosed.
Good point.
Yeah, we all thought we were getting the Pitino Jr., but that's not what we got. And it just is what it is.
We didn't have plans for this, but I like where this has went. Trey, Chad, you all are quite a bit older than me and Trey.
Oh, easy.
What is the biggest difference when you reflect and look back? Because I mean, like the earliest memories that I have that like I can actually remember was Cal's probably first year. Like that, I mean, like I can like remember everything about it. I don't want to say that I remember everything about Tubby Smith. But what is the biggest difference? Because I feel like you all were prime time with Rick Pitino and the Tubby era compared to this slate of Cal and Pope. Is there any, like, when you're watching these Kentucky's teams, like, that's something that just sticks out, like, it's just not the same? And that could be with the fan base or the play. I'm just curious. We didn't have this plan for those listening. You alluded to that. So I'm just curious, is there anything that you look at and you're like, oh, it's not the same again? And it could be anything.
Nothing can really compare to the last 2 or 3 years of Pitino, in my opinion. It was fast paced. It was pressing. It was, just shooters everywhere. Like you were never out of a game. You would beat people, like just blow people out. And that's when that's what I first remember. Is probably I remember crying when Jamal Mashburn's last game, which I guess that might have been the Duke game. I'm not sure, but I remember crying when. So I remember crying his last game. But 96, 97, like nothing even in Cal's there compared to that, in my opinion. It was different. Tubby's, to me, the end of Tubby's time feels like right now. Like it was, and Pope's system was supposed to be fast, but it was slow. Like there was no continuity. You just kind of, if you did win, you kind of grinded something out, and it felt a lot like this. I do feel like Tubby though kind of got, because at that time you didn't get that many freshmen, and Azubuike, he was building around Azubuike, and he left early because like some family issues, and he was going to be like a stud as a junior, and after that he just never kind of brought it back. And then obviously the Gillespie era was just disaster. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was at the Jody Meeks game in Tennessee, which is the best experience of Kentucky basketball I've ever had. But so I mean, you can't say anything feels different. I mean, I was at the St. John's game, the Indiana game, and those two, that was the best two atmospheres I've been at in forever. But I think it's like we're starving for what we had 10 years ago. So but as far as the fan base goes, I mean, people were just as critical, but you didn't have Facebook and you didn't have Twitter. You couldn't just
you didn't
put
have
it out
this
there.
really.
Right.
No, actually, I take that back. I don't like. I take it back, but not take it back. I do remember the Jody Meeks 54-point game. I vividly remember with the Patrick Sparks, the double clutch 3 against Michigan State, being at my grandparents. So I do remember those memories, but just not like every single thing about it. Trey, real quick, I want to ship it over to you, and then Trey, I'll start with you in a new segment. But Trey, do you have any different thoughts?
Travis Ford and Rick Pitino, my all-time favorite player. I just think, the biggest difference is you just got to know the players because they stayed longer.
Right.
I mean, that's to me the biggest difference. I mean, the fandom hasn't changed. We've always been crazy. You know what I mean? It's just magnified now because of social media, and it's everybody can put it out there. So, but as far as the fan base traveling and all that, nothing's changed there. And it's just the coaches and players have changed, but I don't see it as, I'm as big a fan now as I was then, as a kid,
Well, I do. I really do like envy, and it makes I was like, oh my god! Like whenever the older guys, and I do mean older guys because you are older, start talking about those years of Kentucky basketball, because it's like, man, what a time that would have been. I mean, especially with the Pitino Tubby years. To win 3 natties and what was it, 94 or 96, 97, and what 90.
98 Tubby won.
98. Okay. So in the span of 4 years, and then you make the Final Four in between that. So Trey, let's move on. Where does this current Kentucky team rank on your roster since 2010? Hey, we did make the NIT that year. Did get beat first round still. Chad, well, Trey and Chad and Trey, all three of you, I think there's an argument to be made that the Nerlens Noel team could compete against this team.
Well, but I don't know, it's not fair to give them the injured player. So I stand differently on this. I think it's hard to do this in the middle of the season. I would put them third worst right now. I don't think you can put them below an NIT ahead of, like, make them worse than a team that went to NIT or the Brandon Boston team. I think if you look at now, eye test, no, I'm not going to argue about that. But if you look at it on paper, I had it wrote down, I left it upstairs, but the Harrisons that went in as an 8 seed and made the championship game were no better than this at this point in the season. The Murray and Euless team was no better than this at this point in the season. They lost in the second round of the tournament. The Brandon Knight team that made the Final Four was no better than this at this point in the season.
My God,
So you've got
Chad, stop.
I'm not saying that they're better, but I'm
He's
saying
spitting
at this point in the
facts.
season, you can't put them.
But we didn't feel like we didn't. We still felt that. I'm telling you, that Harrison.
We felt really bad.
I said we are so talented. We have still got a shot. I promise you, I called that one.
I did too, but we felt really bad that year.
There is
really
no.
bad. I'm
telling you, man. If we make the tournament right now, I'll be tickled to death.
Well, we said that this time that year though.
No,
you said the same thing.
Yes, no. Not at this point. No way, no chance.
Yes,
not me.
Yes,
not
everybody
me.
else did.
You're the Debbie Downer then.
And I'm the biggest Aaron Harrison fan you'll find. But at this point in that season, we were not in good shape.
That team, I called that team. I said they were going to make a run.
You called us going to the Final Four?
This team.
You might have called it in March. You didn't call it in January.
All they're doing is running to the ATM. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. They're running to the ATM.
But Trey, see, like, are you saying that just for this team? Because I don't know if I know you have. You heard us talk about it. I don't buy that. I don't buy that it's just the money. I cannot get on that because you look at all these other teams and, like, your Duke, your Michigan, like, they went out and spent money and their guys are playing and they're winning.
Okay, then you're answering the question then. If that's what you think, then it's all on Pope. It's Pope. It's not the guys then.
Okay, yeah.
Then
yeah, okay. Well, I thought you said, though, the money.
Question. You're answering your own question. I didn't.
No, you said he's going to chase money. You said they're going to chase money.
I said the players were. I'm trying to put it more on the players.
That's what I'm saying.
Pope now.
How many did he sign? How many players did he sign?
2 dadgum many.
No, how many did he sign?
It was 10 or 11, wasn't it?
I don't know. How many did we sign? I don't know.
That's not you. Okay, you start dividing out, and Quayton's got 4.5 of it. So these other guys didn't get that much.
Well, we paid $4.5 million for a guy who has not played.
If you
but
think about it, we throw the $22 million out, but Quayton's is the only guy we gave a lot of money to, and he's played 4 games.
No,
but see, that's where I disagree with you, Chad. I think at the end of the day, you got to go pay some dogs.
Huh? He was on. They put a list out. He was the only one on the top 10. He was like $3 million.
Yeah, do you think, Trey, that it was?
Was it $22 million confirmed?
Everybody's writing about it, so I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, pause. Let me ask this, Trey. Trey, do you think it was a real big mistake of going and paying your so-called dog, who's a big man, in today's game? Do you think that we should have probably looked at it and say, okay, if I'm gonna pay somebody a bunch of money, I'm gonna go pay the point guard. I'm not gonna get a center. In today's game, that just ain't working. Who has the ball in their hands a lot?
I do think Lowe got paid. I do. At least 3.
But no.
I do. Because he's a 2-year player.
Yeah, he's coming out for 2 years. I agree.
Well, that okay, that's fine. But I'm saying my point is, the $22 million for over 11 guys is not a whole lot of money.
Yeah, but I don't think like Noah. I mean, he's probably staying for 500,000. You know, I'm not. They're not all getting a million.
I mean,
you know
I'm just saying when you put the whole roster in that they're all chasing money, unless you want to point out like Oway, Lowe, Quaintance that are getting the big money, they're not. I mean, Noah probably could have went somewhere else for more money.
I know. What I read was Aberdeen was offered like 500 more thousand than what Florida was offering. Florida lets him walk, and by the time you do where we have state income tax and Florida don't, he was coming for like 200 more thousand.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
It's a big letdown so
Yeah,
far.
but then they turn around and paid Boogie Flan.
And they're winning.
Don't block.
I mean, he's not doing it. They're doing it with the 2 guys that had come back. I'm going with that. As I don't think the money's the problem.
Yeah,
if that's the case, then you don't get it out of the NBA players. I mean, that's what they're basically professionals. They just.
No, I agree. I don't think money's the problem. But let's move on to our last segment of the night.
1, 2, 3 touch money. I mean, what are we doing?
All right.
What are we talking about?
The last segment of the night, so I sent this to the guys. We are going to draft 2 guys since 2010 to come back and help this team. And here's the rules. The 2 guys we could not draft 2 so-called studs, as Will Stein may say, feed the studs, baby. We had to do 1 stud or big-time player, big-name player, and then 1 guy that maybe wasn't necessarily like a big-time name, but still would be productive and help this team. So, Trey, send it over to you first. Who are your 2 guys? Give us your stud, and then who's your other guy?
I don't think he can shoot. He couldn't shoot in Kentucky. Well, that's not saying much.
All right, well, you took my De'Aaron Fox. That's who I had as my stud, so I'm going to have to kind of maneuver around. Treg, who's your 2 that you're taking? And you can explain it as well.
I'm going the same route as Trey with the point guard. I was between really 2 guys, but I'm going to go with Tyrese Maxey just because I think he can create his own shot too. And my other guy, I'm going with stretch 4 because I think that's what Pope needs to facilitate his offense. And I was between 2 guys there too, but I think I'm going to land.
You're between my 2 guys.
Maybe so, but I think I'm going to land on Kyle Wiltjer.
Oh my goodness, that was my 2, De'Aaron Fox and Kyle Wiltjer. All right, I'm gonna have to. All right, go ahead and explain.
Well, Wiltjer can facilitate up top. He can shoot. I mean, I think he would be like a prototype for what I feel like Pope wants to do.
No, that's a great pick. Absolutely, I 100% agree. Chad, who you got? I mean, I guess they ain't took any of yours.
Trey took one of mine. I agree 100%. We have to have a point guard, but I think we have a point guard that can score and facilitate, but also is an actual shooter, and Brandon Knight. So I'm going to take Brandon Knight as my point guard. I was going Kobe Bryant because I just want another shooter. So I've replaced him. I hate to give up the size, but I'll go with Quickly. So Kobe Bryant Brandon Knight and Quickly.
What's up with Chad and Brandon Knight?
Brandon Knight took this team to the Final Four. The team The team that Brandon Knight took the Final Four was this team.
You think he's underrated in Kentucky basketball, Chad?
Yes, 100%. He took Josh Harrelson to the Final Four.
What you got about Josh Harrelson?
Here you go. Josh Harrelson, Darius Miller, Lamb, Brandon Knight, and who was the other starter?
Was it Jones?
Was that Archie
Liggins.
Good? No.
DeAndre Liggins.
Ooh, DeAndre Liggins. Yeah, no, I know you've always spoke very high of Brandon Knight. All right, well, my two. So I did have De'Aaron Fox and Kyle Wiltshire, so I'm having to put something together real quick. Okay, so I'm going with the same route you are. We got to have a point guard, but I want a point guard who can shoot. And my guy is not a so-called, I would think, point guard at his time at Kentucky. He has found himself in that role in the NBA, but he did play a lot of that at Kentucky whenever he had to. But Jamal Murray, I think, is a guy, just knockdown shooter. He could absolutely shoot the lights out of it.
He wasn't a point guard on his team.
He can still
Do
do
what
it.
now?
Aberdeen ain't
He
no point
wasn't
guard.
a point guard on his team.
Aberdeen.
He had to
Exactly.
be when he had to be. He could do it.
Sure.
He could do it.
That was my second
And
guy,
then
by the way.
I'm going with a stretch four. I'm right there with you, Treg. I had Kyle Wiltshire, but my other stretch four that I'm going to go with is P.J. Washington. I think he's a great fit here.
He's a stud. How's he not in the top tier?
How are you going to
He
go?
was SEC Player of the Year.
Well, I had to backboard off somebody. I had Kyle Wiltshire.
You can't cheat.
Let me give you the other one.
I'm getting quickly late. I'm going to take Monk.
Derek Willis.
Okay.
Willis.
That was what Derek Willis. I'll take Derek Willis. That's a good one. Stretch four, can knock down the corner shot. I had to just all of a sudden think of something. So
Hey,
just
would
text me
Antonio
and say, I don't
Reed-
think you
would
understand
Antonio
how
Reed
loud
be
you
a
are.
stud? Would he be a stud? Considered a stud?
I don't think he would be. I mean,
'Cause I almost picked, instead of Wiltshire or Willis, I almost went with Deron Lamb too. Somebody mentioned him earlier in the lineup, but you talking about a guy?
Deron Lamb may
fill it
be
up.
my favorite Kentucky player, low key, of all time. Like,
Tyler
and
Ulis.
like I
Tyler
just
Ulis
love.
was another one.
Monk was hard to leave off.
He was.
Team.
I almost put him on there too. But we got a long season ahead of us. We've got 10 more SEC games. Let's look at real quick. What about Nashville? With everything that's went down, do you think that Nashville will still show up for BBN, or will BBN still show up for Nashville at the SEC tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
I
fans
went
like
the
us.
year-
I mean, we don't get to go to Rupp as much, so it's people like us in the southern part of the state that fill that place up.
Yeah. I actually think I'm going.
I went to NIT year, and on Friday I found a scalper and talked him into giving me a deal on Friday and Saturdays. I thought we'd really make a run. Didn't work out for me. He won, I lost.
You thought we was going to make a run. Well, we sure didn't make a run, and we didn't make a run in the NIT either. Well, fellas, thank y'all for coming on here and not leaving me out to dry to do this by myself. Man,
Right,
Trey, do you have that picture of Mason and Colton?
You got, I know that. We're a lot better looking than those other two you got.
Yeah, they're gonna want to wish they hadn't sent that photo, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. Well, hey, thanks again for coming on here. I appreciate it. Hopefully the Cats can put it together, finish the season good, and find a way to make the tournament, and everything will be forgiven. But thank y'all again. As always, go Cats.
Hey, hopefully everybody gets power soon. Shout out to our first responders, our linemen, for trying to get everybody up and going. It's nasty out there, so.
Hey, and our
appreciate y'all.
insurance agents too when we file these claims.
That's right. We're here for you. You're cutting out on me.
Go Cats.
That's a wrap for this episode of Bluegrass State of Mind. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, be on the lookout for our social media pages and be sure to follow them. We've got plenty more stories, insights, and conversations coming your way. And if you really loved it, make sure to share it with a friend. From the hills to the hollers, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep that Kentucky spirit strong.